minimum distance an eye hook should be from a weatherhead is 3 feet or 0.91 meters. The maximum distance is 10 feet or 3.5 meters. Understanding these distances is crucial for safe and compliant electrical installations. A weatherhead is a protective entry point where overhead electrical service conductors enter a building or structure. Its primary function is to prevent water from entering the service conduit and to provide a secure connection point for the service drop. The eye hook, typically installed on the building's exterior, serves as an attachment point for the service drop conductors, providing mechanical support and strain relief. Proper spacing between the weatherhead and the eye hook is essential for several reasons. Firstly, it ensures adequate clearance for the service conductors, preventing them from rubbing against the building or other structures which could damage the insulation and create a safety hazard. Secondly, the distance affects the tension and sag of the service drop conductors. Insufficient distance may result in excessive tension, potentially damaging the weatherhead, eye hook, or conductors themselves. Conversely, excessive distance may lead to excessive sag, reducing ground clearance and increasing the risk of contact with trees, vehicles, or pedestrians. The 3-foot minimum distance is generally specified to provide sufficient working space around the weatherhead for connections and maintenance. It also allows for proper drip loops to be formed in the service conductors, further preventing water from entering the conduit. The 10-foot maximum distance is intended to limit the sag of the service conductors and maintain adequate ground clearance. This distance is often influenced by local utility requirements and the overall design of the service entrance. When installing an eye hook and weatherhead, several factors should be considered. Firstly, the local electrical codes and utility regulations must be followed. These codes often specify the exact requirements for the type of weatherhead, the size and type of conductors, and the allowable distances. Secondly, the structural integrity of the building must be assessed to ensure that the eye hook is securely attached and capable of supporting the weight and tension of the service drop conductors. Thirdly, the surrounding environment should be evaluated to identify any potential hazards, such as trees, power lines, or other obstructions that could affect the safety and reliability of the electrical service. To ensure proper installation, it is recommended to consult with a qualified electrician or electrical inspector. These professionals can provide guidance on the specific requirements for your location and ensure that the installation meets all applicable codes and standards. In addition to the distance requirements, several other factors should be considered when installing a weatherhead and eye hook. 1. The type of weatherhead should be appropriate for the size and type of conductors being used. Weatherheads are available in various sizes and materials, and it is important to select one that is compatible with the service entrance requirements. 2. The conductor should be properly sized and insulated to prevent overheating and electrical shock. The National Electrical Code, or NEC, provides detailed guidelines on conductor sizing and insulation requirements based on the ampacity of the circuit and the environmental conditions. 3. The connections at the weatherhead and eye hook should be made using approved connectors and methods. These connections should be tight and secure to prevent loose connections, which can lead to arcing and overheating. 4. The service conduit should be properly sealed to prevent water from entering the building. Water intrusion can damage electrical equipment and create a safety hazard. 5. The grounding system should be properly installed and connected to the service entrance. A properly grounded system provides a path for fault current to flow back to the source, helping to protect against electrical shock and equipment damage. 6. The installation should be inspected by a qualified electrical inspector to ensure that it meets all applicable codes and standards. An inspection can help identify any potential problems or deficiencies and ensure that the electrical service is safe and reliable. When working with electricity, it is important to follow all safety precautions. Always to energize the circuit before working on any electrical equipment. Wear appropriate personal protective equipment, such as gloves and safety glasses. Use insulated tools to prevent electrical shock. And never work alone. If you are not comfortable working with electricity, it is best to hire a qualified electrician to do the work. Electricity can be dangerous, and it is important to take all necessary precautions to protect yourself and others. Remember, safety is always the top priority when working with electricity. By following these guidelines and consulting with a qualified electrician, you can ensure a safe and reliable electrical installation. The distances between the eye hook and weatherhead, 3 feet minimum and 10 feet maximum, are critical for maintaining the integrity and safety of the electrical service.